From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. And what a week it's been. The name of this video, traders, is the Algos make the S&P go down and the Algos make the S&P go up. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 1979.10 late afternoon. The low came in at 1959.80 mid-morning. And last, we're 1974 even. We're up 12.4 handles. Total volume, 1.6 million minis trade and 3,000 big S&Ps traded in the pit. As far as the MOC went, the MIM was showing 200 million for sale. I said I thought there'd be a flip. But the futures didn't, at least not when I left. But the actual MOC came out MOC by 50 million. Now, we've got a big week ahead of us next week. We really do. We've got 20 economic reports. We've got eight Fed governors speaking. We've got 9 T-bill or T-bill bond auctions or announcements. On Monday, we've got the Chicago National Fed Activity Index. We've got the existing home sales number. We've got William Dudley from the Fed speaking. We got a 3- and 6-month T-bill auction. And we got Naryana Coca-Loca, whatever your name is. Somebody's got to call me up and tell me how to pronounce that. And now look I want to talk about a couple things with you guys, and they all are relative to what I saw in the markets today. And I really did. I put it out in the ICE chat, I put it out in the Mr. Top Step trading room, and I put it out on Twitter. When the S&P traded down below 1960 and held those early Globex lows, I put it out right away. I think it was about 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning that I thought 1960 was holding. And I named several reasons for why I thought the S&P was going to go up. Now, I think what's happened over the last couple of days, and tell me I'm right or tell me I'm wrong, but there's been a gigantic shift in sentiment. People think the markets are going down, don't they? At least they look like they are. But what happened today, we hit on a couple of Mr. Top Steps trading rules. The first one was, like I said, I saw that low at 1960. That's not necessarily a rule. But then the second thing that added up in my mind, and I talked about in the opening print, was what we call Counter Trend Friday. That's where the S&P does the exact opposite of what it's been doing all week. And that worked. And then another rule that we talked about today was the bus too full. And I think it got too full. Whenever everybody thinks the S&P is going down, they all think they're going to get paid at once. It never works that way. The Algos ran all these stops down throughout the week. And I think, and then today, not that I think, but then today, once the S&P couldn't break, the sellers lightened up, and up the S&P went up right into all these buy stops. It was a gigantic rip, and I was putting out charts throughout the day. Now, I will admit one thing. The S&P is going out on kind of a sour note. And for those bears that think the market's going to be down on Monday and Tuesday, I've got a question to ask you, and I think it's important to think about. Has there been enough selling throughout the month going into the final days and the rebalance, the third quarter rebalance for September? Do you think that all the sellers have used up most of their gunpowder? I think they may have. But that said, Monday will be a new day, and Wednesday will be a new month. We'll leave it like that. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the opening print.